Hey guys, solo ranking is quite challenging, but there are some heroes that can make the journey a bit easier. In this video, I will present you the top 15 heroes for solo ranking. If you can master any of these, you should have no problem reaching the highest rank eventually. If you need a build or tutorial for any of these heroes, you can check the links for those videos in the description. This list is in no particular order, and heroes that are banned all the time are not included in this list, such as Benedetta, Esmeralda, Alice, Mathilda, Eve, and so on. Without further ado, let's start with the list. Everyone and their mother is using Granger nowadays. You will almost see him in every single game. He is one of the strongest and easy heroes to use if you want to easily climb up in rank. He can clear the jungle really fast, has high mobility, and he is strong right from the start, which is a huge advantage compared to other jungler who need a lot of farming before they can start joining the team fights. Just build him with some items for durability and you are good to go. Cho always seems to find a spot in the meta. He's just that strong if mastered properly. But what makes this hero really great is his versatility. If your team needs a fighter, he can be played as one. If your team needs a tank, he can easily fulfill that role. He is basically like water. If you put water in a cup, it becomes tea. Well, you already know the rest. Smiley face. Chango is one of my favorite mages, just for the fact that she's riding the moon. And you know that nowadays, the most important thing is going to the moon. Anyway, despite her appearance, she is one of the deadliest mages. She can seal the enemy's buff if they are not careful. She can defend the base really well. And she is not the easiest to kill if you are good with your positioning and awareness. Harith is borderline OP. If he managed to get ahead in the early game, he has become a force to be reckoned with. He becomes almost impossible to stop thanks to his unlimited shield. You can either play him as the jungler or in the side lane, but nowadays he's more popular as the side laner. But if your team ever needs a jungler and you just feel like playing Harith, you can definitely play him as the jungler. He can still do quite well in that role. Varus is the total package. He can tank, he can deal tons of damage, he can split push, and most importantly, he's riding a damn dinosaur. A lot of times, the opponents will try to ignore Varus because he's so tanky, but then they will underestimate his damage and will end up taking a lot more damage than they expected. I mean, usually if a hero is very tanky, he shouldn't deal as much damage, right? This hero is just naughty. Just gotta make sure to keep his stacks up and good timing with his ult, because it's very easy to escape if you're not paying attention to the enemy's movement. Cecilion is the king mage of comeback. The longer the game lasts, the stronger he becomes. Whenever you feel like your teammates are quite inexperienced and the mage role is available, just pick Cecilion, because the game will probably go to distance and your team will probably need to defend most of the game. In the early game, just make sure to manage his mana usage properly. Never go over phase 2 of his first skill, or else you will run out of mana right away, which will delay farming his stacks quite a lot. Yusong is such an insane fighter. His passive is quite broken. It deals an absurd amount of damage. It's quite easy to proc and allow him to sustain a lot as well. Take advantage of his early game and harass your counterpart as much as you can. There are very few heroes who can really match up against Yusong. One of the mistakes that I see often when people play Yusong is that they stay in his dragon form for too long. If you're right next to the target, don't hesitate and just go for the kill. Many mages can one-shot squishy heroes, but unlike many, Kagura is one of the very few mages who has a lot of tools to easily escape many sticky situations. If you truly master her, I guarantee that you will have a lot more wins than losses, even in solo rank. She's that insanely strong. Just make sure to poke the enemies first and make their HP low enough before committing her full combo. After the revamp she received from the latest update, I think she's an excellent assassin, especially if the enemies have a lot of squishy heroes and not too many CC skills in the opposite team. If those requirements are met, then you will surely have no problem completely destroying the opposition with this extremely scary assassin. But remember that she requires a lot of timing, so don't engage until you think it's the right time to do so. Harley is probably the hero that will give you the most MVP no matter if you win or lose. He is the easiest hero that can help you gain the most kills almost every time. So if you really enjoy getting tons of kills every time, like I do, then Harley is probably one of the best heroes that you truly want to master. One of the downsides of playing him is that in the late game, if you don't really know how to close out the game, then it becomes very tricky and the enemy will have a good chance to make a comeback. So just keep practicing and eventually you'll learn the how to. What makes this marksman quite good is the ability to immune many of the opponent's CC skills they might throw at you, but you gotta learn to time his first skill. Also, his ultimate is really great at giving visions of the enemies, and also great at starting the team fights and making the enemies very slow, which will allow your teammates to go for the damage dealers with more ease. Alpha is another hero who just recently got revamped, but he was already pretty good even before that. But now he's just a killing machine. His passive will allow him to dish out tons of true damage, which is the worst nightmare for the tanks. In case you didn't know, true damage ignores all defense, and it also considers spellbound damage. Hayabusa is one of the favorite assassins of many, and there's a good reason for that. He's really annoying to deal with. When he split push, it's kinda hard to deal with him, because he's not easiest to catch. If you only send one hero to deal with him, Hayabusa will usually come on top. His ult is one of the best one-on-one skills to instantly kill anyone who is not a tank. Since Lapu Lapu got his revamp and became extremely powerful, he never received a nerf, which means he is still as strong as he always was. His skill sets allow him to deal a massive amount of AoE damage during the team fights, while at the same time being able to sustain so much. He is also great at killing the enemy's main damage dealer first. Also, it's important to learn how to play a side laner, because usually in solo rank, you might be forced to play that role. The last hero that I decided to include is a tank fighter, because it seems like people have this perception that by playing tanks, you won't be able to rank up. And although that is somewhat true, there are some few exceptions, and Joe is probably the best example. Whenever I see that nobody on my team wants to tank in solo rank, Johel will be my number one candidate, because this tank can just do it all. He can initiate, can deal tons of damage, steal the enemy's buff, and delay them as well, and so much more. And that's it for this list. I know there are many heroes that were really great that I didn't include in this list, but in the end, what really matters is how you play the hero. So whatever hero you wish to play, you master them, and you will still do fairly well no matter what. And if you found this video quite helpful, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Thanks.